Mission 15 minutes. Finally, we get to see Dragonfly. No, doing a little live video for the Dragon launch. They're about to launch the astronauts from American soil on an American rocket. Hey, Haas. Oh, I hope nothing goes wrong. We really need this launch to be good. Well, I do have my Dragon capsule. That's an ABS printed high detail Dragon capsule. That was a little warped. So yeah, I'm going to make one of these fly. So that's where our little critters are right there. I need to be able to, like, yeah, I need to do something like that. Almost high enough. There we go. We got a Dragon capsule. That might work. Maybe. Oh, I can pull this down a little bit. I thought he was. I'm surprised he's not. It's a figure of speech. Typically, when people say God help us, they don't literally mean God help us. I mean, obviously, it's these engineers and scientists and workers who are doing all the work. This is a capsule. So this is more like the Apollo days. You know, the Mercury, Atlas, and Apollo days. I'd probably pass out from excitement. It would just be, I'd give anything to go into space. I'm curious about the new interface, the touchscreen interface. I wonder how much of it's hardware and how much of it's touchscreen, and how that differs. I love the new spacesuits. They are so much better. They look like something 21st century. Yes, you'll smell it, and yes, they can tell. Astronauts are pretty wired up, like literally sensors everywhere. That's got to be such a thrill for them. If you guys want to watch the stream and hear the audio from the stream, that's the link to the SpaceX stream that we're watching right here. I wonder if they're actual spacesuits or if they're just pressure suits. Meaning, could they exit the capsule in space in that suit? Are we all the way live? I want to make sure I'm as close to live as I can get. Playback 2x. That's the little trick to catch up at live. We were only a few seconds behind. Hey, Randy. Oh, good. Well, unless there's an internal visor, but that's a good point. They would need that um, tinted visor, the gold tinted visor, to avoid sunlight issues. There may be an internal visor that can come down. I'm not sure. Your stream is 30 seconds faster than my real stream. What's that mean? I did remember to pick low latency this time when I hit stream. Well, there is no find God. We made God. God is an invention of mankind. That's not a bad thing. I don't have a problem with faith. I have a problem with religion. They're not the same thing. Oh my God, could you imagine these guys sitting in their seats? Hey, did you see SN4 last night? Yeah, let's hope this is not SN5. One of the test rockets that SpaceX is working on, the Starship SN4, it blew up spectacularly. But they've launched so many Falcons successfully. I mean, when was the last time they had a Falcon failure? I mean, what, in 100 launches they haven't had a Falcon failure? So these little bad boys are pretty reliable. I wonder if they're going to land the booster. Oh, wouldn't that be great? Are they going to land? I don't know. Does anybody know if they're going to try to land the booster? Hey, Ingo. I would love to see a launch in real life. I am so sad I never got to see a space shuttle in person lift off.
is complete. Backline NASA first stage, second stage fuel are complete. Liquid oxygen loading is continuing on both stages. See on the view on the left side of the monitor, condensation of the.
Well, I wasn't sure if that was actually in the cards. Like, were they going to attempt to land the booster? Because that booster would become priceless. Like, you'd be crazy to relaunch that booster again. I mean, that it should go straight to a museum. 150 miles away, you'll probably see the trail. Although it goes out over the ocean, so it's moving away from you. Yes, it was the oh, what's it called? Not Hubble, something Herb or something like that. What's the name of that? The Tuttle Space Museum or something like that. What's the name of the museum in Washington? You got the Air and Space, but there's also another one right outside Washington. I got thousands of pictures of it on my website. Will be no point. 4 minutes. So even at 100 miles an hour, you're only going to make it like 8 miles. Hey, I finally got Nerese.com online. So that is basically it's just a very simple launching page right now that will that shows all my YouTube pages and my web pages for now. So it's a launching page. Are you looking at the same stream? Here's the link if you want to see the same stream that I'm watching right now. So switch over to that, and when you're viewing it, hit the little gear down here, and change your playback speed to 2x. That will speed up the video and get rid of most of the buffer and get you as close to real time as you can get. So increase your playback speed, and that will catch you up to real time. I don't know how a lag gets built in. I guess when the live stream is playing, there's micro pauses that we don't notice where the video doesn't quite play at full speed, and so that lag builds up between what you're seeing and real time. So like 60 when we get down to 60 seconds, speed it up again. You'll see me do that every now and then. I'll come down here, I'll hit the gear, playback speed 2x, and you'll hear them go chipmunk on you as it catches you up to real time. Nice. Do it again at T-minus 1 minute. This way you're as close to real time as possible. I got a water spray going. I guess that's to cool everything off, keep everything wet. That's better. Man, I hope nothing goes wrong. T-minus 1 minute. See, I lost a couple seconds again.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Go, baby, go. Let's light this candle. There we go. I'm as close to real time as I can get. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, baby. Work. It's got grid fins. That means they're going to try to land it. Oh, come on, baby. No whammies. No whammies. It's bringing tears to my eyes. I got it maxed. I think the I can boost this.
Plus 30 seconds into this historic mission. Flying crew on board Dragon and Falcon 9, and look at them go.
Let's switch. Yeah, let's do that.
The throttling down to get ready for the period of maximum dynamic pressure.
Oh man, it's so exciting. This is called max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. That's where the force of the rocket pushing itself through the air is equal to the drag being applied to that rocket by the atmosphere. That puts a lot of strain on the vehicle. So what they do is they throttle down a little bit, they slow down a little bit to reduce that force until they get to the thinner part of the atmosphere, then they throttle back up again. Through max Q, they're back to full power. Oh God, that looks so awesome. Now this is a 2-stage rocket. So that first part of the rocket will eventually run out of fuel. It'll separate. And that's called MECO, main engine cutoff. Literally, MECO, main engine cutoff. Now, what you see here is the flame expanding because there's less air. So the higher it gets, the less air or pressure there is. So think of the air pressure like a bottle that holds the flame in. That's why you get that nice, neat flame. But as that air pressure goes down, the flame expands. It gets wider and wider and wider. That's part of why they do 2 stages. The second stage engine is a vacuum engine, so it's more efficient in space, while the first stage engine is an atmospheric engine that's more efficient in the atmosphere. That's inside the ship. So there's MECO, the engine cut off, so it's going to separate momentarily. And so you should see it. There it goes. Oh, hell yeah. There's the second stage engine. Did you see the little flame on the top of the first stage booster as the second stage engine lit? Oh, that's fucking awesome. Ah. Oh, that is so amazing. Boy, it looks like there's not much vibration in the cab at all. I don't see any jitter in their screens, and they're comfortable and relaxed. Look at this. That's incredible. Look at this. Those guys are just sitting there chilling. That's awesome. Incredible. Is this available in more resolution, I wonder? Nope, 720p is the highest. Might as well do another speed up. There we go. We're real time again. Oh, that's incredible. Well, you have a rocket engine burning, so there's going to be vibrations. I'm just impressed with how little it is. I mean, these guys, it must be one hell of a smooth ride. These guys seem totally relaxed. Well, they're professionals. You don't just jump in a rocket and go into space. You know, we're not at that stage yet. There's a lot of planning and training that goes into this. There's the booster. Getting ready for its boost back. So it looks like SECO happens just before the first booster lands. SECO is second engine cutoff.
Right screen, you can see its way back. Right. A couple minutes away from entry burn for the Merlin engine.
There it goes.
Ignite to help slow the vehicle down as it re-enters back into the atmosphere. And then after the entry burn will be the landing burn, which is just a single engine.
Dragon SpaceX nominal trajectory.
And you heard
starting chill for entry burn.
There's that call out. They are still on a nominal trajectory on Dragon. Still on second stage, and that's that MVAC engine on second stage on your left screen.
Yes, they're going to the space station.
Again, on your right screen is that first stage booster coming back towards our drone ship. Of course, I Still Love You. We're about midway from entry burn.
Wow, that's second stage continuing to power Dragon into orbit. Gonna keep an eye on that timer. That's going to continue to burn until 8 minutes and 44 seconds into flight. A little over 2 minutes from now, we'll hear the call out SECO. It'll then be
we're about to find out. We are 6.5 minutes in, and it looks like we're about a minute away from SECO.
Physically separates from the second.
Now, entry burn is where the booster fires its engine to slow down a little bit to reduce the impact of hitting the atmosphere on reentry.
Continuing to check in with Bob and Doug. They are on a nominal trajectory.
No, that's long gone.
Just about 10 seconds away from that first stage.
That's all the way out by Mars.
That entry burn on your right screen. You should be able to see that view live.
So here comes the boost back burn, or the reentry burn.
And there is that entry burn beginning. This burn lasts about 36 seconds long.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
That entry burn continues. We're just about a minute away from SECO. We'll have a number of events all happen in rapid succession.
The purpose and goal of this rocket launch is to bring those two astronauts to the International Space Station so they can perform their shift at the station. We rotate the people at the space station. The significance of this launch is that we have lacked a launch capacity in the United States for almost 10 years. Since we shut down the space shuttle, and I told everybody, as soon as we shut down that space shuttle, we're not building a replacement, and we didn't. So SpaceX started working on Crew Dragon. So this is the first time in almost 10 years that we have launched Americans into space from American soil on an American rocket. For the last 10 years, we've been sending our astronauts over to Russia, and they've been launching our astronauts into space.
Copy Shannon. You heard Shannon, so that just means they're in
Joe, they get home in the capsule. So, for example, there will be one of these type things here. I don't know if it'll be a Soyuz capsule or a Dragon capsule, but there'll be a Dragon or capsule attached to the space station. And so the astronauts get into the capsule. It does what's called a deorbit burn, and it just slows its speed down enough so it touches the atmosphere, drags, slows down, and then the capsule lands. Here comes the first stage.
Drone ship, of course, I still
Come on, baby. Stick it. Stick that landing.
Confirmation is nominal orbital insertion.
What you're seeing on your screen is a
Oh, come on, baby.
drone ship, where our first stage will be coming down.
Oh, no.
Looks like we lost that live view, but we'll wait for confirmation of that landing shortly here.
Yes, they stuck it.
And there you can see it.
That's the most valuable SpaceX rocket in human history. If that thing doesn't go straight to a museum, somebody's not right in the mind.
And as you can see on your right screen,
I don't know if it's liquid fuel or solid fuel that does the deorbit burn. I'm not sure. And I don't know if it's the same capsule. I don't know if they're going to bring this capsule back immediately, or if this capsule will stay attached to the space station. I don't know.
Here again, that call out good orbital insertion, so that means Falcon 9 and Dragon right now exactly where they're.
Damn it, they stuck it, man. So not only did we launch Americans into space on an American rocket, but we landed the goddamn rocket back on the ground again.
A little bit about what exactly that is.
I believe hard in space is our future. That's what I believe in. I think we need to get the hell off this rock before we die on this rock.
Separation from the second stage, they do make sure they do ensure that the vehicle is not spinning and it is in good condition before we separate.
Oh man,
that's right. The upper stage does small attitude maneuver using old gas thrusters built into the rocket body itself.
Exactly. So we do expect that separation to occur in about a minute from now, but they do wait until they have full confirmation that it is ready to separate.
That was awesome.
Such cool views. I cannot get over this view that we are seeing right now. Bob and Doug on the right screen, inside of Crew Dragon, out in space.
Yeah, already 200 kilometers over.
You know the quickest way to fix a lot of our problems in this world? Put people in space and have them look at that planet from space.
About 16,000 miles per hour.
And realize just how tiny we are. How tiny and insignificant we are.
Again, we're just standing by. That separation event should be coming up shortly. And they'll begin a series of checks on the Draco thrusters that are going to be used to maneuver and then power Dragon on its flight to the International Space Station.
Deploy is where they separate the second stage from the rocket. I don't know if they're going to separate this part or not. I don't know if this stays with it until it gets to the station, or if just this goes to the station. I'm not sure.
Waiting for confirmation now of that.
Oh, it is separating. So this here is now separating from the rocket. So this here is all gone. So it's just this going to the station.
Dragon separating. And there's that call out. Dragon is now officially making its way to the International Space Station today.
So the part you're seeing right now is this part here, this bottom part.
We have a few words for you from our Falcon 9 team.
Standing by. Dragon, Chief Engineer on Dragon to Ground. Bob Doug, on behalf of the entire launch team, thanks for flying with Falcon 9 today. We hope you enjoyed the ride and wish you a great mission.
That is so awesome.
Congratulations to you and the F9.
And that's something else SpaceX has done. They understand marketing. We get all this glorious video.
Appreciate all the hard work and thanks for the great ride with space. Copy all.
All I'd like to be proud of you guys and the rest of the team. Thank you so much for what you've done for us today, putting America back into low Earth orbit from the Florida coast.
Copy all. Good luck. Godspeed.
All right, so Bob and Doug are in
Dragon
space.
SpaceX, we confirm nominal equals activation and service section Draco checkouts. Nose cone deploys in progress.
So I think what they're talking about now is this little section of the capsule separates, and there's a docking port underneath there, I think, that allows it to mate with the station.
We have confirmation the nose cone is deploying. So again, that nose cone is going to
That's
open
this
up
part right
a bit
here.
more than 90 degrees, goes up to about, I think, 105 degrees, and that's going to expose the actual docking ring and the hatch that they're going to be going through once they attach to the International Space Station.
So when they attach to the space station, they actually come through the nose cone into the space station.
They're going to be used for these major phase burns or firings of those thrusters to actually raise their orbit gradually over the coming hours.
Well, there's some people I'd like to put in space without a spacesuit.
That's the environmental control and life support system.
Enjoy!
Everything controlling their atmosphere, just keeping Dragon a nice, safe, habitable environment where they're going to be living for the next 19 hours until they arrive at the space station.
Right, exactly. And Falcon 9's job may be done for today, but the mission is not over. Crew Dragon's job is not done. As you can see, Bob and Doug are still inside Crew Dragon, making their way. It will be a 19-hour trip to the International Space
Well,
Station
El Moriarty,
before they
I can tell you this, that
tomorrow morning.
I have a new channel for that. If you go to Nerys.com, I have a Mind of Nerys channel where I will discuss
Such
politics,
cool views.
not on my regular
I love that we
channels.
can get these live
But what I can tell you
views
is
and see and
we
watch
don't
what
have
they're
capitalism
doing
in the U.S.
now that they are
Not
in
anymore.
orbit.
We have
It's
cronyism.
incredible to just be looking over
Yeah,
their
we have
shoulder.
corporate welfare. We have
Along for the
corporatism,
ride.
not capitalism.
And we're going to be with them, and we're going to be with all of you the entire way for their journey to the space station. We're going to be covering live throughout. Bob and Doug will obviously have a sleep period where they'll get about 8 hours of sleep a little bit later today before they wake up for all of their final approach.
Really? 19 hours?
In the next couple of hours is going to
Yeah,
be
beef jerky's good.
at the controls.
I had venison jerky
We're actually
once. That
going
was
to
really
be
good, too.
Using those touchscreen displays to take control and manually pilot Dragon. We'll walk you through what that's going to look like, and assuming we have some good ground station coverage, we'll be able to get views right inside Dragon, looking over their shoulder as they manipulate the controls at the display. But I mean, we had a smooth ride uphill, both stages of the Falcon 9 doing their job, placing Bob and Doug in orbit. I mean, this is a day. This is a historical day. This is us
Amazing.
kicking off that new era of spaceflight that we've all been talking about and longing for since the Space Shuttle program came to an end in 2011.
Yes.
And the weather cooperated.
Yes. Second time's a charm.
Right.
Yeah, apparently you curl up in a little
Right,
ball and
so
just sleep.
For the history books, as you can see, we have lost some live signal there, but the mission's still.
Are you kidding me?
And we're going
19 hours of floating weightless in space? I'll take it.
Yeah, Jesse
That would just
did
never get
this
boring.
all over here, and I woke up this morning and looked at the weather forecast. I was like, man, we're going to be back here on Sunday, but we did it, and the room cleared out. Everybody was outside watching, and the inside the lights were
Hi,
shaking,
Kitty.
the cameras were shaking. Lauren
Yes,
came
we
back
launched
in
a
with
rocket.
tears in her eyes.
Uh-huh. You want to go on a rocket ride,
really
baby?
Amazing.
I can't believe it. I saw it with my own eyes. This is. I'm a little bit speechless.
Come here, baby.
Just so grateful that we got them up there, and there's a lot more to go. A lot more to go.
They wanna see you.
Safe right now. I'm so happy.
Yes, we launched a
We
rocket,
were
baby.
talking about it. It's amazing what we can do when we work together.
Yes, we
Yes,
launched a
American
rocket.
astronauts from American rocket from American soil,
Mm.
showing you what Americans can do
Mm.
when we come together as a team and blast Doug and Bob off to the cosmos. This is what it's all about, and their families and everyone is working together to take them up to space safely. So I don't know what to say. That rocket fuel is
2 million
going
views.
in
Yeah,
my
there's
veins, and
there's a.
I wanna go get
Oh
it.
my God, there's 3.5 million people watching this right now.
But we want to go over to Daryl.
Holy crap.
He's there with the administrator who hopefully has more words than we do because we're still kind of speechless. Daryl,
They have no chat?
Incredible.
Oh, no, there is no-
At
no.
the operations
Yeah, they no chat.
building
Okay.
where a course
Well, that's what I'm here for. We
has
get
been
chat.
happening from the beginning of launch and throughout the various stages.
3.5
Very
million
special
people
guests
watching
who are here
this.
to watch it. That includes
And there's probably
President
other
Donald Trump,
people.
Vice President Mike Pence, and NASA Administrator Jim Bright.
Well, you wouldn't go backwards. You would tumble. Unless you burp this way. So that it's through your center of mass.
Tell me how you feel about that, and tell me about the president watching launch and what happened there.
So this has been a long time coming. It's been 9 years since we've launched American astronauts on American rockets from American soil, and now it's done. We have done it. It's been way too long. I want to give a lot of credit to Charlie Bolden. He was my predecessor as the NASA administrator. He fought hard for this program at a time when it didn't get any support in Congress.
There you go. Let's put a wow on space, baby.
Supportive of our space flight initiatives, not just on the exploration, discovery, going to the moon, onto Mars, but also from a Space Force perspective.
There you go.
Budgets are going
Pea jerky.
Things are strong, and today was just
we'll call it turkey.
Just an amazing day. One of the things the president did right out of the gate when he became president is he created what's called the National Space Council. And he put the vice president as chairman of the National Space Council. And on that National Space Council, you've got the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Commerce, the Secretary of Transportation, the Secretary of Education, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, all of these different amazing individuals that deal with space day in and day out. A lot of people don't realize how many parts of the federal government deal with space. And the vice president invited members of the National Space Council here as well. So we just had, and then we had members of Congress, bipartisan members of Congress, Republicans and Democrats, who have been involved in supporting.
Everybody's got to get their word in. It's a big event
for a long time now. So I'll just tell you, I'm breathing a sigh of relief. But I will also tell you, I am not going to celebrate until.
Well, it depends on how vigorously you fart.
Tomorrow they're going to dock to the International
you
Space
ball up and
Station
you aim that crap, man.
To be at the Johnson Space Center when that happens. So it's a bit of a relief. The nose cone is now open. It's now deployed, which means that now we're going to go into some burns. We're going to have some phasing burns. We're going to have some boosting.
So this is interesting here, what they're talking about here. So you have the capsule. You have the capsule in space.
The big thing that we need to do now is we got to get.
And you want that capsule to meet up with the space station. Well, the space station's up here, and the capsule's down here. You can't just and burn toward the space station. That's not how it works. Because that assumes that both the capsule and the space station are just sitting here floating in space. And they're not. They're orbiting a planet. Okay? So when you have two objects in orbit like this, what you have to do is this object here is going to be going faster than this object here. So this object has to increase its altitude. It has to move its orbit higher, so that it can join up with and meet the space station at the higher orbit. So when you want two objects to meet in space, like say, let's say these two objects were sitting here chasing each other. Well, you can't just thrust forward and catch up with the other object, because when you thrust forward, you're going to go faster, and that's going to increase your orbit. And so you'll catch up to it, but you'll be up here. So you have to, I guess in this case, you would slow down and let the other object catch up to you, and then you would increase your orbit again. I'm not very skilled on orbital trajectory burns, but you can't just point and fire and go. You have to change your orbit so that the two line up and meet together. Yes, they launched it. The capsule is now in space. It's going to take about 19 hours for it to get to the space station. And the booster did successfully come back to Earth and land. They stuck the landing like a dart.
For Bob and Doug, I was praying for their families. I was praying for their safe return, even though they're just going. But man, I'll tell you, it was...
Correct. Convection requires gravity.
It's a whole different feeling when you've got your own team on that rocket. And they are our team. They are America's team.
They actually have to circulate the air in the cabin, because otherwise the CO2 you breathe out can form a bubble around your head. It doesn't just go away like it does here. So they actually have to create currents in the spacecraft so that you don't suffocate in your sleep.
I hope this moment in time is an opportunity for everybody to reflect on humanity and what we can do when we work together, when we strive and when we achieve. And if this can inspire a young child to become the next Elon Musk or the next Jeff Bezos or the next Sir Richard Branson, then that's what this is all about.
Man, I can't wait till they get Starship going. That's going to be amazing.
I wouldn't put me in that category, but well, we appreciate your leadership for
the moon, Mars, and pretty much anywhere in the solar system.
Amazing day in the launch. Thank you. It's been a great ride. All right, very good. Marie, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Doug and Bob are on course to arrive at the International Space Station tomorrow, May 31st at 10:27 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll be staying
So
on
that's
the air for
8:30 my time.
coverage along the entire ride to the station. So though our coverage here is concluding, we will turn it over to the teams in Hawthorne.
I got my own little rocket.
To take us through
And where's
the
it?
phases
Right
of the
there.
Delta II mission, all the way to hatch opening and a welcome ceremony on the space station for Bob and Doug tomorrow.
That's right. And as you follow along, we invite you to tune into a post-launch news conference that's happening here at 6:30 this evening Eastern Time on NASA TV. We'll have NASA
Oh, that little
leaders here to
machine
take
they have,
live
and you put
on
the
this
cup in it.
unprecedented achievement in human
I never
spaceflight.
used that.
And in addition to NASA TV, you can follow along always on Twitter at NASA and nasa.gov for mission.
I can tell you this, the chocolate milk out here is not as good as Wawa chocolate milk.
So far,
Wawa chocolate milk tastes better.
2020, remember this day. You'll have this memory forever. The day America returned astronauts to orbit from U.S. soil.
Amazing.
Wow, we're making history again. Let's go.
Yeah, I think they're just pressure suits. Incredible. Oh, he was there. Incredible. Alrighty, guys, that's it. I will see you guys on Wednesday's stream. You guys have a great day. And check out my new launch page, Nerisse.com. I have all of my YouTube channels and websites listed there. I finally got off my lazy ass and put a launch page there. It's just a very basic text page, but I finally got off my lazy butt and put it up. About time. Oh, he was definitely having an adrenaline rush. Probably shit in his pants saying, please don't blow up. Please don't blow up. Please don't blow up. Alrighty. I will see you guys later. You have a great day.